Okay, it is April 30th. Last time I was at this hive was April 2nd, basically exactly 4 weeks ago. I put the second brood chamber on, and that's the box on the top, the bigger box on the top. And I'm going to give it an inspection, see how they're doing, see how we go here. Hope my smoker stays smoking. I think I can probably leave the strap box out too. Know that I'm gonna that it's gonna be too much more windy, and now the trees will be in here more, giving it a little more shelter with all the leaves. A little smoke underneath. That smoker ain't staying very smoky. I might have to relight it here. See. Anyway, take it off and see how they're doing. Alright. We got her glued down pretty good. So you can see what we got in here. Now I put this whole box here on. And that was completely empty. So let's see how the bees have built it up in the last 4 weeks. Definitely a lot of them here. Flying at me. Give them some smoke and force them down maybe. See how they're doing. See what we've got inside. Alright. First frame. Like I said, there was absolutely nothing in any of these frames, so other than the foundation, and that's foundation. There's absolutely no comb buildup on there. That was on the end here. They tend to build from the center out. I can see that this one doesn't have anything built, so I'm not even going to bother pulling it out. This one doesn't have any comb built, but I can see that the next one does, and it has a lot of bees on it, so let's take a look at it. We'll also be looking for eggs and possibly a queen. Let's see what we got here. Oh my goodness, look at all that. So you can see the comb build out. I see some pollen in there. Definitely see some pollen there. I don't see any nectar or any eggs. I see bees with pollen on them, on their hind legs, so they're bringing pollen in, which is good. Don't see any sign of nectar or eggs. Right. Getting pretty swarmy here already. See what we got in this next one. Okay, now this one, I definitely want to look for a queen, because this one has all of this down here. That's drone brood, that's males. The big bubbly ones are drone brood, so there definitely was queen laying eggs up there. And I do see nectar in these. I'm going to do a quick look for the queen, see if I can see her, because she's definitely been on this frame. Try to take a quick look. I don't want to be in here any longer than I have to. A lot. This is all mostly worker brood here. All of this is worker brood here, and the big bubbly ones, the bigger ones, that's drone brood. And this frame was completely empty, so everything on this they built in the last 4 weeks. So this hive is doing great. Looking to see if I can see a queen anywhere. I really should take my glasses off for this because I'm nearsighted, so I actually don't see as good with my glasses when they're on, but I always forget to take them off first. And I can't take them off in the middle of this because I have my veil on. Anyway, I do not see a queen. Doesn't mean she's not here. She's not marked. Some people mark their queen with a colored dot on her back, different color for each year. I don't even know what this year's color is. I know last year was white, but I don't see her. But again, I know she was on it because there's lots of unhatched brood and some hatched brood. Anyway, take a look at the next one. This is great though. It means that this hive is really active. They built up a lot in the last 4 weeks. A lot. This is what I was afraid of. I have a problem keeping my smoker smoking. Alright. See what this frame looks like. Are broke loose. I kind of glue them together, so you got to kind of break them loose with the hive tool. Alright, this one feels like it's actually glued into the one below it, so I got to pry it up. There you go. They'll do that. They'll connect them from the bottom to the top. This one also has a lot of drone brood at the bottom. Regular worker brood at the top. Oh, there's a bunch of drone brood over here on the side too. Let's see what we got. Looking for a queen. A little bit of pollen at the top. I probably should be feeding them sugar water because they can definitely use that. The nectar flow isn't really high right now, and sugar water is a replacement for nectar flow. Anyway, that looks good. You can see on the bottom, they had some brood on the bottom, and you can see the little white things like right there. That was actually larvae of a growing bee. There's a couple here too. Now they're going to end up dying because they got ripped open. That's okay. There's plenty of activity in here. I'm looking for the queen on this side. Kind of hard to spot the queen because she looks just like the other bees, except for she's a little bit fatter and about 1/3 longer than the other one. So you're looking for a long abdomen. That's where she keeps all her eggs and all the good stuff that she collected from the males, if you know what I mean. When she goes out on a mating flight, she gets enough sperm from all the males to put with the egg, to fertilize all the eggs for the rest of her life. It's kind of hard to believe, but that's the way that it works. She mates with multiple bees, and she doesn't necessarily mate with bees from the hive. She mates with local bees, so she can, of course this was a local beehive anyway, it was a swarm I caught, but when she does that, I just blew on it a little bit because it kind of makes them scatter, and sometimes they clump around the queen. I don't see her. Doesn't mean she's not there, I just don't see her. Over here real quick, and I don't see her there either. Again, doesn't mean she's not there, I just don't see her. Okay, put this one back in. But they're definitely doing good. I'm very happy with how this hive is going. Check this one out. I always get the feeling that when the bees seem to get a little bit more aggressive and protective, that the queen might be on that frame, and these next two, they seem to be a little bit more protective. So maybe the queen's on that one. We'll look and see. Give it a little bit of smoke to hopefully calm them down a little bit. All right. See what we got here. Now this one doesn't have quite as much as the other ones did. I mean, there's plenty of brood, plenty of worker brood, a little bit of drone brood down at the bottom, not nearly as much as the other ones, but there's definitely nectar, looking for eggs. It's kind of hard to see eggs because they're tiny little white things in the bottom of the cell. I don't see any eggs. But like I said, there's plenty of brood. I'm going to look for the queen now. Got a couple ladies buzzing me. Again, that sometimes to me that's a sign that the queen might be on this frame and they're being extra protective. I mean, she could be on one of these clumps on the corner too. She doesn't have to be on the main frame. Definitely drone brood here, the bigger ones, and then regular worker brood. I see pupa. You can see probably can't see it, but there's like bigger white things at the bottom, and that's pupa. That's kind of like a little worm. And then they'll cap that over, and then they'll turn into bees. That's like one of the stages of a bee. Looking for the queen here real quick. Kind of a big cluster up here. Like I said, sometimes that means the queen's there. And I don't see her. Big clump here on the corner. I'm going to see if she might be in there. Just kind of move them out of the way. See some drones. Interesting facts. Drones can't sting you. Only the workers can. Don't see her. I'll look again on this side because some of them, see the clump came over to this side. Do not see her. Okay. See some young bees, baby bees. They're a little bit smaller and fuzzier because they just hatched out. As they grow, they kind of lose some of their fuzziness. Careful putting these in so I don't squish any. All right. I think I might check one more. One more frame here, maybe. Maybe two. I'm not going to go into the bottom. I can tell they're doing great. I don't have to see the queen. I know she's in there because I'm seeing off my tool. Because I'm seeing brood. That means she's laying eggs. Yeah, this one hardly has anything on it, so this is going to be the last one I'm going to pull. They're just building the comb out now. Like, this is foundation. It's just a flat piece of wax with the shape of a honeycomb, and then you can see here they're building it out. They're building the comb out so they can have cells to lay eggs and store honey and brood. I mean honey and pollen. and the lather blue. But anyway, everything looks good here, so I'm going to put this back together. I'll push all the frames back down to one end. Slowly, to not squish any bees, hopefully. I'm going to have to... Sometimes when you push from the top goes over, but not the bottom, so you got to kind of pick it up. Got a little bit of a cold here. Got to kind of pick it up and put it down so it goes against the whole way. Like that one there. Excuse me. This one here needed picked up. Along with this one. And I can put this frame back in. Doesn't have to be on the end because the last two frames aren't built out at all, so it doesn't matter. Okay. So, got her all back together. Push everything to the center. Got it pulled back in my pocket. Put this back together. I had 2 packs of fondant, which is basically sugar patties, on top here, and they completely ate all of that, which is a good thing. And put the cover back on. Like I said, I'm not going to bother strapping it up. I'm just going to leave the strap here. I think they'll be fine. And then I'm going to let them go because they're doing awesome. I think the other thing I might do, I'm going to let that go. Eventually I'm going to open up the entrance reducer right here. When the hive gets a little stronger, I'll open it up so they can go in and out more. And there's a bee with a lot of pollen on it. I got a bottle of water here. This is my feeder for them. I have rocks in it so they don't drown. It was completely dry, so I'm going to give them some water. And hot. There is a big creek, about a half a mile, maybe a quarter mile through the woods down there. I just give them water here so they don't have to fly so far to get it. And that's going to be it. Hive looks great. Thanks for watching.